And again, a lovely Moore Family Collection family meeting with Robert Moore, your founder and custodian. So Rob, I'm going to hand over to you. I'll drive the PowerPoint. You just let me know when you need me to move on.
Great, Natalia, thank you. Welcome everyone. 14th of June, the year is speeding past us, and also from a dry but freezingly cold Joburg today. And a very special welcome to the Manwana family, who I was down there yesterday. We had actually we had a good chat, and then we had a great evening together. They've joined us for the first time. I just thought it would be great to and I know some of you will even be saying, like, why are they joining this meeting? So I'm sort of disclosing something, the announcement before it's even happened, but a special welcome to Manwana for joining us, the Manwana family for joining this meeting. Okay, so let's jump into it. Oh, just on the Q&A, you guys, I think this is our third virtual family meeting, and there's been 0 questions. So let's see if we can improve on that ratio of maybe 1 question every 4 family meetings. So, and if you, I don't know how you want to do it so that it's anonymous, but if you do have a question, points of clarity that you maybe want to present to me, please just post it in the chat box or email Natalia or raise your hand and actually speak out. So I would be very grateful if we get 1 question today. That would be deemed as progress. Okay. All right, let's jump in. Cool. So we're going to start with our values. And I know you hear me every family meeting, and in every letter that I produce, I always mention our values. It is something that hopefully through repetition, it will permeate deep into our organization. Be aware, be generous, or respond generously, strengthen diversity, make it better. Those are our core values. And just so you know, the values guide our behavior. So they're actually very, they are very powerful. It's not just a set of words on the wall or on the staff memo board. It actually, if you're in a situation, no one's around, and you need to make a decision, if you apply the situation to our set of values, you will make the right decision. So it really, I cannot emphasize this any more than just use it as a tool. So it guides our decision-making ability. To mention our purpose, again, through repetition, create opportunities and experiences for people to enrich their lives. To remind you all, for me, when we crafted the purpose and value statement, it was definitely in the universe because Brit was still around with us, and we did it all as a team, a collective team in Joburg. And kind of one of the important things for me is that I've always felt that by my inheritance in terms of being part of the family which inherited the farm Kingston, which is where we started Lion Sands, that was an opportunity that I was given. And through that, always in my mindset is around, if I was given that and I've been able to build what we all part of today, then I just feel that that's such an important thing for us to do as a behavior. So create opportunities and experiences for people to enrich their lives. Strengthen our diversity, be aware, respond generously, and always strive to make it better. That make it better every time I wake up in the morning. I always look at something with a fresh pair of eyes. And I always see if I'm making a decision, if I'm involved in a design or a creation or a new system, I always strive to improve on it, because that'll keep us relevant. It'll keep us constantly relevant within the world that we operate in. I did want to highlight Nitesh. I hope he is listening. But this was unprovoked, unsolicited, this was purely on his own bat. On his, he came up with the idea. Those of you who probably aren't listening, we are busy. They're probably in the opera training him yesterday. So we're doing the opera training at the moment in the Joburg office. And I stuck my head in there yesterday, and they kind of all were pleading to me to make it stop. So it's, as you know, training and learning is not the easiest process, but the amazing thing that Nitesh, through his awareness, one of our values, he realized that the training is a fairly painful process. Being locked up in a room, being fed lots of new information can be quite overwhelming. And he went out and he got the bar ones for everyone. He put little notes on, and this was all his own doing. So it doesn't need to come as an instruction. It doesn't need to be part of an SOP or anything. Sometimes you can just do something spontaneously. So Nitesh, big shout out to you for setting a great example of how our values are being lived. Another one I wanted to mention is the recovery bonus. So I cannot tell you how many little messages I got, WhatsApps, SMSs, emails, just thanking myself and thanking the leadership team for the second recovery bonus that we were able to pay out. And it's just, the kind of sense of gratitude and the energy and effort in terms of recognizing that it's not one is, the mindset of never just being entitled to it, and actually giving feedback. And it was, it really did. It was very, very kind of heartwarming and appreciated by myself and by everyone in the leadership team who debated when and how and all of those kind of things in terms of the recovery bonus. So to all of those of you who sent me and the leadership team messages, like, massive appreciation for that. It does mean a hell of a lot. Further example, I'm going to read it. Then you don't have to, you can just listen. Having stayed at several more properties, I can confidently say that the Cape Cadogan lives up to the company's commitment to customer service excellence. The renovation is really quite beautiful, and the property feels like a homestay than a hotel in a very good way. We felt very comfortable and relaxed. I definitely come back. I really want to call out to Anita for truly impeccable customer service and her kindness. She really made our visit exceptional and made for great conversation when we asked a few questions. It was my dad's first time to South Africa, and she truly made him feel welcome. It reminded me of similar experiences we have had when we stayed at the Stanley Livingston in Zim. Another one, obviously, you guys know, another one of our properties. This is an important line for me, and I get reminded by it all the time. The amazing staff and human capital that Moore has is truly its greatest asset as a company, above and beyond the beautiful properties that they also are. So it's just that humanness. It's the, everyone can build and buy nice stuff, to be honest. Not everyone, but you know what I mean. But the heart and soul of this company, of this collection, is you guys. And I applaud you for it. I'm massively appreciated. I'm always inspired by it. And that's what guests, people feel it, to hear a guest mentioning the word kindness, and kindness, certainly, as a parent, what I do want my kids to be, financially independent one day, I do hope, but also, more importantly, I want them to be kind human beings. So it really is a great value to have, and I think we do it exceptionally well. So thank you very much for the impact that you have in walking our purpose, in living our values, and delivering it to your peers, your colleagues, and your guests. The welcome. So further welcome to our 12 new family members that have joined in. Nangamso, Jandre, Mpule, Bradley, Howard, Timothy, Dumasani, Massive, Derek, Big Boy, Sebitle, and Jabulani. Welcome to the family, guys. Great to have you joining. And as I always say, remember, the relationship is a synergistic relationship. Means the company or collection gets what it needs to get for all the obvious reasons, but it's super important that you extract value as well. Not just, and I know, of course, we come together to work to extract a payroll. It pays, keeps the lights on, etc. But it's important that you learn, grow, improve, upskill, and keep developing yourself. And that's part of that enrichment. That's part of our purpose statement, is that it doesn't matter what position you have in the collection, the mindset needs to be always around making it better, enriching your life, getting more skilled. So make sure that we reciprocate as a company, as a collection, to the contribution that you're making to us. But very welcome to the family. A weight that I am very excited that is going to be lifted off my shoulders relatively soon, because I'm sort of moonlighting and doing this job, is the marketing digital manager, Carl Warmbach. It's been a long journey in terms of finding this individual. We've been through lots of interviews, and thank you to Brittany and to Warren, all the kind of sifting through the hundreds of applications we had for this, for Helen, for Natalia, for being in the final kind of interview process. We really feel that we've got not only an individual who's going to have the skill set to improve and enhance and develop this area of the business with Andrew, who's also been holding it together, working with me, which I know has been quite tiring and quite difficult at times. But Carl Warmbach is going to be joining us on the 1st of August. Cannot wait for him to come in. I think he's going to be adding tremendous value to our digital kind of positioning, working with Francois on the content side, working very closely with Andrew, working with Ashley in Concierge to improve on lead generation. It's going to be exciting to have him fulfilling this really big need for our collection in the digital marketing space. Another big shift, an opportunity which Kingsby has stepped into, is we have taken the decision that revenue should not belong in two separate families, in that it should be one family with one structure, with one goal. So it is a company goal. And in that, we have Helen, who's going to be heading up the overall revenue for the entire kind of collection, the responsibility of revenue. And she's going to have Yiska on the sales side, the traditional sales side. And then Kingsby is going to be coming in, bringing the two different sort of functions, different business units of the collection journeys and the More Family Collection concierge team together, working very closely with Ash. And I just think it's a team again. I've been moonlighting in this responsibility for the last 3 months since Shah sadly left us. I've had plenty of conversations with Kingsby around his vision, his strategy, what he wants to do with the team and bringing it together in terms of opening up new opportunities and really growing towards, we've set ourselves a company goal of achieving a 70% through the channel revenue goal and 30% direct. And Kingsby and the team with Ashley and everyone inside that team is going to be aspiring and doing everything possible to achieve the 30%. But I just want to pause and make sure everyone understands that this is a collective company goal in terms of the 70-30. So if Yiska is taking too much of the share and stepping outside of that 70 up to 80, then she will be equally interested in pulling back and ensuring that Kingsby and his new team is going to be working towards a 30%. So it's a collective 100% obviously revenue strategy for the company, but it's going to be split 70-30. That's the kind of balance that we feel is going to bring benefit to everybody within the organization. So 2 big new seats that are going to be coming in. Kingsby starts on the 1st of July and Carl is starting with us on the 1st of August. For those of you who didn't hear, like Kimberly, who is quite the most extraordinary person, went through the Field Guide College at the NJM campus in the Waterberg in Marataba. She qualified as a guide in 2017, and you fast forward to 2023, and she's just won the most prestigious award in the guiding industry, being Safari Guide of the Year. It's been so cool to see the kind of love and inspiration and motivation that's been posted on the guiding group. Kimberly, you're a legend, and the most nicest human being, so passionate about what she does. so passionate about every single guest that she takes on safari. You're a real inspiration for someone who's committed time, energy, effort, and very importantly, passion to something that you love doing. And I applaud your courage as well. I messaged you before and after saying you're much braver than me to do it. Because it's tough, you know, when you put yourself out there, you're being judged, you're being measured, and who knows, but she was courageous enough to do it. And she came away and stole the trophy from, I'm sure there were lots of other men. There were probably only other men in the other candidates. So really big shout out to you, Kimberly, for being the first female guide, but more importantly, being the safari guide of the year 2023. So yeah, just massively inspiring and very appreciative, and just think it's the best news ever. Going out to don't often see our sales team in that kind of situation. And there was I believe there was a snake incident. I didn't actually check in and get the details on this, but the sales team very generously went down to the Thornybush area, and they spent some time at the Kruger campus with the students. Had a truly amazing experience, and I think hopefully hopefully those who are interested can reach out to any of the sales team to get the details on the snake story. But I believe it all ended quite well. But so cool for those individuals who are our voice piece. They are our people in the marketplace. Go out to the college and just get a sense of the impact that we're having in people's lives at either one of the campuses. Another sort of bit of, I suppose, output that's coming from our collective efforts is Francois has put together a super amazing desktop calendar. I'll be sending the link out on the WhatsApp group after the meeting. But thanks to all the guys for contributing to this. Thanks to Francois for his talent and his passion in delivering this. And it's just nice to see our content, our product, our guest experience being sort of brought to the front and made available to us. So I'll send this out to any of you who are keen to download this particular calendar for your desktop after the meeting. Where are we going and what are we focusing on? So remember, I always kind of bring this in because part of this presentation to you guys is make sure that we are aligned, make sure that we're all moving in the same direction, because it makes us a more powerful unit and it gives us greater probability and possibility in achieving all of our goals. So the first thing I wanted to mention, and as I alluded to earlier, there's always quite a lot of pain in a new system. Because there's lots of learning, there's lots of, and it never lands as easily as certainly one envisaged in the beginning. And I know the guys probably look at me and think, geez, Rob, this was your idea, and now you're not even doing the training. So, but for those of you, when we are through this, I am absolutely certain it'll improve on our efficiency. It'll improve on our accuracy, and it'll make us a stronger business unit. But it is tough as we go through the transition, because any change is difficult. The good news is that Opera Cloud is alive, and we're deep in the process of bringing her into our business. 1st of July, Cape Town and more quarters will be going live with the system. 1st of September, Lion Sands. Actually, 1st of August, Monwana is also going on, and I haven't even mentioned the Monwana story, but I did welcome them earlier. 1st of October, Marataba. 1st of November, SNL. So by the end of the year, we'll have a brand new reservation system called Opera Cloud, and I'm hopeful, based on us being on a journey for about 6 years to find the right system, that she will not only improve on our efficiency, but bring a lot of strength to what we do and how we do it. At last. So a new lodge joining the collection. Remember in the previous presentation, I said that I'm working on things and I need to do this. I need to bring it into the collection. Well, here it is. So formally welcome to the Monwana family. For those of you who have been able to join, it was an absolute privilege yesterday or on Monday and Tuesday to spend time with you guys. Your lodge is just, I mean, it's just off the charts. And the news for everyone within the family is that we will be taking over the responsibility of their sales, marketing, reservation, and digital needs, effective on the 19th of June, which is on Monday. So it's, we put out the, just so you know, I mean, look, I mean, I can hardly contain the information now that I mentioned it to everyone on the call, and it's actually fine that it gets out, but we wanted to tell everyone at Monwana first, which we did on Monday with Trini, who's the general manager, Dirk and Martine, who are the owners. And we now, fast forward to now, I'm telling all of you, and then we're going to be releasing the trade release tomorrow afternoon with the rates, with the fact sheets, and then effective 19th of June, we will be taking over the responsibility of that. We will not, just as a point of clarity, we will not be taking over the operations. But obviously we, you know, we know Drini very well, and I did get to meet the whole operational team, the kind of HODs and senior management at the property on Monday and Tuesday. We are in incredibly safe hands in terms of the guest experience. And even though we are not officially involved in the operations, I know that we'll be open to sharing and engaging and, you know, opening everything we know and can help with to everyone at Monwana. But I must admit the guest experience is quite extraordinary. In terms of where she will be sitting alongside, is she is actually going to pair with, well, not actually, she is pairing alongside or sitting alongside Lion Sands Ivory Lodge. So Ivory Lodge, it's been a fairly lonely place for a very long time, but it's amazing to be operating not only in the Thornybush Nature Reserve, which I've been on 3 or 4 game drives, so not a lot. And I must admit, every single time I've been out there, it really has been quite extraordinary. On Monday, we went out for a drive with Almira, the head guide. We went into a herd of buffalo of 400-500. And we saw elephant, we saw lion with cubs. It was quite extraordinary, and one other vehicle. So just a wonderful experience led by a wonderful team, delivering an incredible guest experience at this property. So nice for Ivory Lodge to have a sister property in the Thornybush Reserve, and we're anticipating lots of kind of selling between. So guests doing nights at Ivory Lodge and a few nights at Monwana. It's got its own regional airports in Eastgate, so super easy, similar to Skukuza, but actually bigger flights, more frequency coming in from Cape Town, coming in from Joburg. So we are very confident that we're going to be able to build the occupancies and the rates for this unbelievable lodge. She will be added to the MFC website on the 1st of July. So thank you to Andrew, if you are listening, for all your hard work in getting that organized and in place, and no pressure to land it on the 1st of July, but it'll be amazing to see her sitting amongst our other incredible properties. These pictures are not the most, as we were building the presentation, I kind of went to the guys and said, is this all we have? You know, so anyway, note the date, she is only opening up on the 22nd of June. Most of our pictures actually 10 days before opening look like a building site, but I think if they took photographs from outside, it does look like a building site. And I think we've had all sorts of issues with rain, and there have been legitimate issues, but the residence, Cape Cadogan residence, opens on the 22nd of June. I was there in the space 10 days ago, and it really is going to be very special. Peter and Colleen have done an unbelievable job in layering her. She will be the residence that will be sitting next alongside the hotel. And I think the best thing for Alan and Sean down there is that finally, when this part of the development opens, is that the contractors, other than snagging, will be off-site. And they have been there for the last 12 to 14 months. So you can imagine operating a hotel and a restaurant in Upper Union next to a building site. So one, we're celebrating the residence opening on the 22nd of June, and two, we're celebrating that finally there will not be a construction process happening in Upper Union Street. So which is great news. Another update from the Creative Labs. So they are up and open, and few knick-knack kind of small things to happen. But Marataba is led by Serrano, Narina by Johnny. The kind of guests are really starting to buy into the whole experience. So nice that an idea that we had a number of years ago and implemented at River Lodge with Alice leading the way. We've now realized how successful it is and how much guests appreciate the kind of opportunity to spend time with a professional photographer and then get behind the screen and learn how to take better photographs. We've taken that idea to Marataba, to Narina, and a big shout out to Francois for leading that process, for the design team, for creating really cool spaces at both properties. And it's just nice to know that this has kind of landed at more than just Lion Sands River Lodge, and we've been able to offer it further afield in our collection. Update on the concession retendering. So poor Andre, he sits very close to me, which I think he must find quite exhausting at times, but I keep him. It is a main focus of ours. The first concession we are anticipating is going to be coming opening up for tender or being advertised in quarter 4 of 2023. So we are readying ourselves. We've been, believe it or not, we've been preparing for this for the last 6 years. So let's just hope we will be, or not hope. It's not about hope. We will be ready. We believe that we're going to be in a very, very strong and strategic position for the retendering process. And when it does get advertised, then I'll be able to give you a little bit more detail, because we're actually going to be tendering for 2 concessions in Kruger. We currently operate 1 concession, which is Lion Sands Kruger National Park. I cannot tell you the other one we're looking at. Some of you do know, but please don't share it because we don't want either the existing concessionaire or competitors to kind of get wind of our interest there. But as soon as it is advertised, then it will become public knowledge. So then I will disclose it to you. But we are ready. We're looking extremely strong on all the different components that we're going to be looking at. And as I said, this has been in our line of sight for the last 6 years, and being headed up and driven by Andre. So very exciting that still remains very much part of our focus. MFC Wellness, it's a tiny step forward. This is all around our belief in really caring for our guests and making them better. We've sort of got the subtle brand of the collection wellness concept idea. So thanks to Olivia, who pushed really hard to get these little, I've actually got one here. That's the little effervescent immune support tablets that we will be introducing to all of our guests on check-in. And for me, what this says when I come into an establishment and they're giving me this is that they actually care for our well-being. I know there's a lot of post-pandemic, there's a lot of interest in one's personal health and well-being. So we're kind of leading the way. Instead of doing a bar of chocolate or something like that, we're actually giving guests something that is going to support the immune system. So that's a cool new introduction that we should be coming through in the next week or so. Website changes, another project that Andrew is super busy with, working with our web designers, Lucky Beard. The first upgrade that's going to happen is the introduction of Manwana on the 1st of July, and it's going to be in a whole new, smarter format, much better layout, which is Andrew's really been leading the way in terms of analyzing where the traffic is going, implementing all the learnings from the traffic on the existing website into a new design, a lot more call to action, a lot more mobile friendly. And that process is going to be starting, as I mentioned, with Manwana coming on board. And then every other property is going to be linked to that sort of make it better approach and being much smarter. Another odd one you may think, but in the for us is the language, and the consistency of language is really important. So we are renaming some of our rooms, and just to make sure that the language, as I've mentioned, is consistent. So, and very importantly, it's not what I think or Helen thinks or anyone else in the organization thinks. It's around what the market perceives the wording to be. So we are doing some renaming, rebranding. More Quarters, the luxury rooms are going to be changed to luxury apartments. Ivory Lodge, personally, a villa is, it feels for me quite pretentious. So we're going to be moving away from the term villa and just calling them suites. Again, keeping a narrative which the market understands. Safari Lodge luxury tented suite is going to be moving to a luxury tent. Mountain Lodge Eco Suites to a luxury room. And I know you may think like Eco Suites is cool and sexy and a lot more emotive, but actually it's all about giving the market a very simple term that they understand. And if they understand, it makes it easier for them to do the acquisition. So it's around creating a language which may not appeal to the marketing team, but it appeals to the customer and understanding actually what we're offering. And then the final change is Stanley and Livingston is the luxury suite is just going to be called a suite. I'm sure both sales and operations are relieved that we are through May, which is very much the trade season month. In Durban and We Are Africa both took place in Durban down in Durbs, We Are Africa in Cape Town. You know, the Cape Cadogan actually hosted was one of the, I think there were 8 host hotels in Cape Town, which meant that all the agents that attended We Are Africa from all over the world we were one of the hosting hotels. And it was I mean, not only just the perfect opportunity to introduce the new Cadogan to the market, but it was just really good in terms of the whole introducing Upper Union and Amori and Derek and the experience that they've created there. Just a massive success, and again, like really appreciate. I survived one day in Durban, and I must admit I found it quite overwhelming. I guess I'm a bit trade show unfit, but the sales team were on it. So like super passionate, super professional, looked amazing, and just consistently delivered our story and narrative the way the best possible way I could imagine. And it takes energy, guys. They like from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock to then a function in the evening, and they just kept delivering it. So with huge passion and commitment. So thank you very much to the sales team for leading that process and everyone who was involved in the logistics of hosting the We Are Africa agents in Cape Town. Sales trips this year, June, Mega's off to the USA. Biggest market, I'm just giving you some information that the USA brings about 60% of our guests across the group come from the USA. So it is a very important market and will continue to be so for all of us. The nice thing is that they actually, I think, I'm speaking on behalf of operations, there are great guests in camp. They're very generous with grats. So Mega's heading off there. And then HE on Friday, on the 16th, heads off to Australia, which we haven't been to in a very long time because of the pandemic, and the Aussies were all way too nervous and conscious about opening up. So this is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that we've been there post-pandemic. And she'll be going there for 2 weeks to drum up or re-educate, re-inform, re-excite the Australian market about our collection. Condé Nast Awards, I know these are painful, but they are important. So again, following the calendar link, which I'll send out on all the WhatsApp groups, I'm going to send out a voting link for the properties. All of our properties are there. The voting closes on the 30th of June. And again, I emphasize, I know it's like, you've got to click and click and click, and it just seems like it never ends, but it is impactful. Condé Nast Travel and Leisure are the 2 awards that it is worth spending max 5 minutes. I think you can get it done in that, but please get your friends, get your family. I know it's maybe not the most ethical thing to do to get the people from the collection to be voting for their own property, It's like sort of marking your own homework, but please do it, because when you get recognized in these awards, people, the guests, the potential guests, they look at the award. If your name is there, it's given them a lot more reassurance and trust that we are the incredible products that we are. So I will send it out after the meeting. Please get on there. Please bribe, beg, whatever you need to do. Get your family voting, and it will make a difference. So we've got, what are we today? 14th. We've got 16 days to get it in. If you can find a moment, I would appreciate it. Branding, I've mentioned it in the previous family letter that I sent out last month. The new botanical stationery driven by Julian. I think he's also close to falling off the edge, but he's been amazing in coordinating all the many moving parts. So this is the new botanical look and feel that is, we've had to redesign the entire property stationery from the first time the guests come into contact with us all the way through to their departure. There's lots and lots and lots, but great to mention that Lion Sands, you're going to start seeing it coming through probably next week. I wouldn't be surprised if over the next day or two, things are starting to actually come from the printers. And then we straight on to Marataba, and then we're going to be rolling it out everywhere. But thanks to Marie Louise, our senior designer, Bianca, who's been brought in as a contract designer, Julian, I think it looks super cool. Very excited about it, and yeah, and you will start seeing it coming through at the properties. Community foundation. Okay, I'm taking a pause. I actually need to get Michelle in on these family meetings so she can bring this in. So Nonsiba is she's now joined the team, monitoring evaluation administrator from July. Is going to be joining the community foundation in the Joburg office. We've also got the extra mile. So those of you who are runners, and you don't have to be a runner, I actually walk it. 23rd of September in the Huntington community. It's in its 4th or 5th year, I think. Such a cool day out. It's actually a lot of fun. There's a 5, a 10, and a 21 kilometer run or walk. Please, if you can and you're interested, put it in your diary. Ask for permission early so you can get out of the shifts. I'm sure everyone will try and get you there, but it is a great day out. Please join us. Another aspect that's another key impact that the foundation had is, as you guys know, is the Field Guide College. We have just finished our first set of students that have come in. I'm actually attending. Very appreciative of being invited by Candace to attend the graduation, which is happening on the 19th. The collection board is going to be flying down to attend the graduation, which kind of marks the end of the first community guiding project or module that we've been running. And as mentioned there in the words, the next group of 33 students, bursary students starting in July. And 23 at the Kruger campus, 10 at the Waterberg campus, so at the NJM campus. Also, another cool thing, huge impact up in Zim at Masui, 360 kilograms of milli meal donated to the community in that area. Another update from the foundation, Living Standards Pillar Sanitation Project for Mandela Day, 200,000 community investment production of reusable pads, made by community women for all the young girls on the MCF programs. If you can maybe collectively as a group of, as a department, put together some bucks. I know it's 280 Rand per pack of 6. Super impactful, done by the foundation. If you can support it, I'd really appreciate that. And then we've added a new beneficiary village to the foundation. Centrum Village in the Marataba region. It's 40 km from Tabazimbi, community of 3,000 people, including 280 unemployed youth, and we're getting involved in their educational development. So, which is, again, just so you guys get to see the impact that the foundation is making. We get to the big moments. All I'm asking for is one.
Right, so don't let Rob down. I think he probably needs a little slick of his coffee because he's been talking for 45 minutes, Rob. Does anybody have a question for Rob? Let's not let him down.
Jeepers, man.
Oh, oh.
Anybody?
Anybody?
Going once?
It was just super
Is
deep.
there a Langebaan property coming? Is that from Joe?
I have an iPhone who's unmuted, but I don't know who iPhone is.
Probably me.
Langebaan property coming. Okay, there we go. Jess, is there a Langebaan property coming?
It's like, not that I know. Not that I know. Yeah.
Anybody else? Put your hand up using the non-verbal cue or in the chat like Jess has done. Any wellness properties?
Any wellness properties coming? Yeah. So the wellness properties that we're looking at, Alan Alan Rose from Cape Town is going to be heading that up for us. He is stepping back from his leadership role in Cape Town. He committed to finishing the project and the renovation project, which is, I've just been massively appreciative in terms of how he's delivering it. Which all kind of comes to an end at the end of this month. He's then going to take some time off, and then he will be heading up our residence and wellness strategy and product development. There are a few sort of ideas, conversations on the go, but not far enough, not mature enough for me to kind of mention it in any way. But is it part of our future? Absolutely. We still building the kind of the actual concept of wellness, the financial model around it. I'm kind of getting out there, getting a sense of what the best wellness facilities are in South Africa. So I'm learning. I am spending time on it, but there is no immediate wellness products in the short term. Yeah.
Will Monwana adopt the MFC corporate identity, i.e. vehicles, uniform, etc.?
Good question. The answer is no. So in the marketplace, the Monwana brand will sit alongside all the other brands in the collection, but at property, it will be a Monwana branded, guest experience. And actually what you'll see with the new botanical theme coming through to all the properties is that the collection brand is being pulled into the background, and we're using more of the property brand. So we're using the Lion Sands brand and then Riverlodge in the new stationery. So MFC is being pulled back for reasons of, we just feel that the journey of the guest through the brand experience is it gets introduced to MFC. The MFC then hands the guest over to the operational team, and then MFC picks up on the end of it. So it's, and these are much cleverer branding people than I, and they've kind of done an audit of our business, and it was I must admit, a bit of a mishmash of where our brands appeared and how they appeared. So this is all being now guided by a strategic thought process, and so it's a long answer to that question, but it's not that Monwana will feel out by not having the MFC branding, because actually, it's the strategy that we're going to be applying at the properties as well.
Is there a plan to get Monwana included into our operations in future?
Geez, you guys are not holding back, eh?
Well, you asked, they delivered.
I did ask. Okay. Look, I mean, if the opportunity arises and I get asked, I mean, of course, if we can add value, then I believe in collaborating, doing stuff together. But I can assure you at the same time that guest experience you know, I mean, I hope some of our senior or anyone in operations can get an opportunity to visit Monwana and see and learn and touch and feel, because it is an extraordinary guest experience. So, you know, to be honest, I don't think we can add any value to actually how they are delivering on the guest experience at the moment. If Dirk and Martine, who are the owners, if they invite us to consider it in the months, years ahead, of course, I'm going to show an interest in it. But at this point in time, I'm delighted to be part of that family. I'm sort of feeling the weight, as I said to Dirk yesterday. He's now put all his anxiety and pressure onto my shoulders. I'm going to lift it off my shoulders and put it on Helen's shoulders. But it's I'm excited about actually just simply focusing on delivering on our responsibility, which is to get the revenues and the occupancies moving in the right direction. Once we've done that, then we can sit around the campfire and see where we go from there. But at this point in time, it is sales, marketing, reservations, and anything to do with digital.
Cool. Monwana still hot property on the chat. Will Monwana be needing our sustainability support from Michelle?
Sure, good question. Michelle, I think you must reach out to Trini directly. I think everyone's eyes are quite wide at the moment. So let's be respectful and let's get in, let's settle, let's get through the 19th, let's get the kind of the families like integrated with each other. And but I'm very certain that they would really want to be involved. They subscribe to responsible tourism. They subscribe to a very similar set of values as ours. So I know that the door will be open. It's just a matter of timing.
When is the Tenga 3-bedroom opening?
We start construction in January. It's a 5-month construction process. So what does that make it? June. 6. And he's got 7. Andre's telling me 7. Jeez. So it's a 4-month construction process then. It's a 7-month construction, but they've learned now that they give me a much longer date. So I reckon it's a 6-month construction process opening in July.
And that completes our questions. Thank
you.
Cool.
Good questions, guys. Yeah, good questions.
Yeah. All right, Rob, anything you want to say in closing?
No, just always a privilege. I love what I do. I love doing it with you guys. I'm super excited about Monwana, anxious as well, but that's a good thing. And I'm looking forward to connecting virtually in August. But obviously I'll also produce the family letter, so everyone stays updated, informed, knows where we're going, which I'll produce and get out in the month of July. But onwards, upwards together. Eh? But thank you, Natalia, for hosting. Thank you, everyone, for joining. For those that managed to sneak out of opera training, well done. But cool. Yeah, have a great month, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Sanders, for posting that. Love these family meets. If you do find them useful, if you have an improvement that you'd like to suggest, please let us know. We'd love to know so that we can make sure it's tailored to what you need. Thank you, Rob, for talking for 50 minutes.
Cool.
Presentation. Yeah. You guys have been super, super busy. And everybody have a lovely, lovely afternoon. Chat soon. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Okay. Thanks, Natalia. Cheers.